Market moves got me feeling wild, swinging harder than a rocket child, picking up vibes like a trader around, praying profits ain't reviled. Charts like a puzzle complex, trading daily, keeping us perplexed. Riding waves like future specs. Gotta calm down, no pretext. Market moves got me feeling wild, swinging harder than a rocket child, picking up vibes like a trader around, playing profits ain't reviled. Highs and lows, gotta keep my cool. Can't let fear or greed overrule. Every pick like a precious jewel. No big fool, we ain't in school. Oh, market moves got me feeling wild. Bought some shares in a flash, high hopes in a mighty dash. Stock ticks and it starts to crash, while it's thinner than a broken glass. Market moves got me feeling wild, swinging harder than a rocket child, picking up vibes like a trader around, praying profits ain't reviled. Charts like a puzzle complex, trading daily, keeping us perplexed. Riding waves like future specs. Gotta calm down, no pretext. Market moves got me feeling wild, swinging harder than a rocket child, picking up vibes like a trader around, playing profits ain't reviled. Highs and lows, gotta keep my cool. Can't let fear or greed overrule. Every pick like a precious jewel. No big fool, we ain't in school. Oh, market moves got me feeling wild. Bought some shares in a flash, high hopes in a mighty dash. Stock ticks and it starts to crash, while it's thinner than a broken glass. Market moves got me
Good morning, guys. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me well, and if everything is broadcasting well. I'm looking at my other screen. Looks like it is broadcasting okay. Everything is looking good to me. Let me flip this around. I think I've gotten all my technicals resolved more or less, but I will let you know. And let me go over here, just get a good idea of what we're doing here. Okay. So hang on. Let me just see where I am on my positioning here. 180. We're gonna go buy more. Buy more. Okay, that puts me at 2 at 9:38. Okay, so it's like a little bit underneath there. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sound is good. Video is good. Everybody's seeing everything. Are we all nice and clean? Yes. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Give me a thumbs up if in chat if you're seeing it. Oh yeah, my first espresso today. I love it. All right. Thank you, Nora. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let me just do a couple of things. I'm going to let everybody know that that we're broadcasting live. You're looking at I have a small long Bitcoin position, which I'm going to explain off of this chart. Look how cool all my technicals are today. I'm actually able to switch around between my MetaTrader and my charts and everything else, and be able to show you everything properly. I think I fixed famous last words, but I think I fixed all my technicals. And the irony of the thing is, I'm actually on a Mac right now, running all of this. It's really, really cool. Okay, let me just do one thing here. Sorry, just bear with me. Okay. Oop. So I'm just posting on Twitter. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, did I get session disconnected? Okay, we're gonna get disconnect. No big deal. All right, Bitcoin going back up. All right, good morning. Views are good. Yes, Chris, it's 4 a.m. in New York City. That's what we always do. Those of you, by the way, who are new, we're trading new schedule 2025. We tested this out in 2024. It worked really, really well. People loved it. We are trading twice a day. London is going to be 4 to 5 a.m. New York, which is like 9 GMT. And New York is obviously 9:15, 9:30 on the New York Open. In London, we trade CFDs only, with Bitcoin and gold as the primary tools. But we're trading the exact same strategy, my BFF Scalper strategy, which I've actually improved since you saw it yesterday. I'm going to show you a couple of cool, it's just cosmetic things, but they're really, really kind of valuable and interesting. And that's what I want to get into today and talk to you a little bit about the things that I've done. But the main thing is we're doing this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but this week we're only doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, because tomorrow U.S. markets are closed for Jimmy Carter burial. And on Friday, those of you who want to join us for live trading of the non-farm payrolls, we will be trading live farm payrolls. This is going to be Kathy and I both going to be trading it, which will be a lot of fun. So a lot of activity this week. If you want to trade futures with me in New York, or you want to trade CFDs with me in London, either way. Let me just check my Bitcoin position. What the hell is my Bitcoin position? Oh, I'm almost at, here we go. We can close this out. I was almost there. I gotta put my glasses on. I can't see anything. Shit. Okay, close all. All right. Bitcoin goes positive. I'm going to talk to you. First of all, tell me how cool this is. Now we can switch between MetaTrader and TradingView and totally seamlessly, not like yesterday where I was fumbling around. Isn't that nice? Really, really cool, right? So first of all, those of you who are not who are new, This is FlashTrader tool. It's an absolutely free proprietary trading tool. As you can see here, I'm gonna reset this. It lets me place trades at a click of a button and close them at a click of a button. You know, just by pressing buy or sell button and then close all or close one. I can close one chart or one position, or I can close all my positions all within an instant click. This is a totally free tool, and you can use it for anything, including futures if you want to trade futures via MT5. But the tool that's that makes it really, really cool is available through our friends at ACAP. They're the ones that basically sponsor this tool. All you need to do is just drop $500, or if you already have an account with ACAP, just simply top it off, and you get this tool forever. And it's like everybody who gets it, it's like crack. I've had people beg me to like when their computer, they lose their computer, beg me for the tool again, because you can't trade once you have it. You can't really trade without it. I'm going to give you, let me see. I'm going to give you instant access to this tool for a couple of days on this link that I just posted in chat. Feel free to test it out, and if you like it, all you need to do is just sign up with ACAP. If you are a U.S. customer, I'm sorry, shit out of luck. If you're a U.S. customer, you have to join us at BK, and here's the BK link. You may want to join us at BK anyways, but here's the BK link because the ACAP does not operate in the U.S. It's an Australian broker, but everywhere else in the world, including Australia, obviously you can get this totally free. Now, what's really cool about this tool is that I'm actually working on a new version. Let me see if I can show this to you. It's in just demo mode right now. So this is gold, which, by the way, is actually looking pretty good right now. Let's take a look at gold. Okay, interesting. Gold looks pretty good. So let's do this. Let's have some fun. I'm going to buy some gold right now off of this is in complete beta development, but I'm going to show you what this thing does. What this does is I'm going to buy gold over here, just a tiny bit. And this is, instead of me using 3 or 4 different charts, I could actually do this whole idea of entering into my positions in tranches and portions off of a single chart. So let's say I'm long now. Where am I? Where's my position? 53. And if it drops down to, all I got to do is just go limit. If it drops down by 2 points, no, minus 2 points, I can buy it. Sorry, let me make sure I get this right. It's a new tool, so I'm trying to figure out if I have it right. So I bought this 53. Oh, no, I want to buy it at 2. If I buy it at 2, all right. You know what? I'm gonna have to talk to my program. I just literally got the tool. I don't want to test it out on you guys. So let's just close this out. I don't know how this works. We'll just close this out. Anyways, I actually want to get long gold for real. So let's do that. I'm gonna get long gold at the 53s, and if it drops down around to 51, I'll buy more at the 200 period SMA. So all of this now is being driven off of the BFF Scalper tool. Now, the real interesting hack, the thing that really, really makes it totally cool, is BK Traders is great. I just send you the link over there. I gave you a discount link, so you can just join over there if you like it. What I was going to say is the thing that drives all of our trading is this tool called BFBK Scalper, which is a TradingView invite-only tool. Now, it's only available to BK members, but the real great hack is if you open an account with ACAP, or if you already have an account with ACAP and just top it off, in addition to all these tools that I give you, in addition to the FlashTrader, I will grant you access to BFF Scalper. So you do not, you don't have to do $1,000 membership with BK on an annual basis to get access to this tool, which is really, really cool. But the tool itself has been just so beautifully optimized right now that I think you guys are going to find it very, very useful for all sorts of analytics. So we're basically, what we do all day long is try to trade or scalp with trend in the direction of the trend. The trend, we simply use the 8-period SMA and the 200-period SMA to establish it. So the big trend is when things are above 200-period SMA, and then intra, there is sell-offs and buy-ups, within the big trend, and the same thing, to the downside. And we have all sorts of really interesting basic indicators and more advanced indicators of when we want to be entering trends. So, one of my favorite things is once prices cross over, right? What I like to do is the first, green zone, I like to get long. And if it comes back down, we're going to buy more. And if it comes back down, we'll buy a little bit more. And we give ourselves 4 chances to kind of resolve the trade. And by essentially doing 1, 2, 4, 8 tranches, we're able to resolve almost every single trade properly. Although in this case, we don't have to do anything because this thing is moving nicely already. We're looking for about $2 scalp on this move, and it's getting close, right? It's what's the target? 55.92. Okay. What we'll do is I'll just leave this. The cool thing about this tool, watch how cool this is. I can just change it to 1 instantaneously, and this will automatically change my take profit to 1, right? So I can just leave it, not really worry about the price action, and just let it play itself out. This shows you kind of like the basic, green entries on the trend in the structure. And during Asia and early Europe, we obviously have a little bit. Gold is relatively quiet; it's not really moving very much, but it's we can see it's generally creating a positive trend. Anywhere where we're buying here, and if we buy the second tranche helps us resolve almost all of these moves. So the general idea is we try to find and stay with trend. Now, one of the other great things about the BFF Scalper that we do is that it carries like this analytical table within it. A couple of things in here that it shows you. It shows you the moving average width, the difference between the 8-period and the 200-period. Whether it's expanding or contracting. And generally, the idea is that once it gets up to about 30 basis points, 1/3 of 1%, that gets into the overbought territory or oversold territory if we're on the downside, right? It also tells us what the average volatility. You can see gold has really been very, very muted in volatility, only about 0.6% daily range up and down. And then it also tells us if it's overstretched from the 8-period moving average. Now, when it comes to gold, all this information is very, very tepid today. But of course, Bitcoin, which is a much, much more volatile product, and you can see, look at the movements. It has a 6% per day movement, and this isn't necessarily that it goes up and down 6%. It's just that its range throughout the day, from the high to low, can be as much as 6%. And obviously, distance from moving averages and stuff like that. All of that is here. Now, what's really cool about the product that I just added to the TradingView product is the following. And this is, in my opinion, like one of the best trend indicators you will find. And I really almost came to it as a fluke, as almost all good things are always discovered as a fluke. So let me show you what this is. This is basically showing you on the chart. This is Bitcoin. It goes negative. This is like beginning of 1 o'clock in the morning, New York, right? Like the beginning of Asia. It goes negative, right? 8 goes below the 200. And, my general thought was, once it gets to like 1/3% to this downside, it's looking like it could be more of a buy than it is a sell, because it gets into the overbought territory. And that's generally true eventually. But the truth of the matter is almost anytime you look at the chart and the candle here, you see the candle goes red. That's telling you it's moved by at least 1/3%. The difference between these moving averages is at least 1/3%. Once it changes color and it shows you sort of super red, super selling territory, this is actually a great sign for continuity trades, for trend trade. Trades are continuity trades. And I realized that because, trend is basically always deviation from the mean. But generally, prices just move around some kind of a long-term moving average, flat, up and down, up and down, and down. When they start moving away, that's a deviation move. And what's very, very cool is this is the only indicator that calculates the deviation really fast in real time with minimal amount of lag. That's the cool thing. Moving averages have the least amount of lag of any indicator that you name it. RSI is a percentage indicator, so it's a derivative of a derivative. CCI, the same thing. Like nothing, the purest thing is price action. The second purest thing is moving averages in terms of not adulterating the data. So using this just gives you super clean, fast moves into trend. And it's persistent. It's very, very rare that you get this black candle, which is like pre-30, and then a red candle, then it's right back into black candle. Like, in other words, these things last sometimes an hour, sometimes 2, sometimes 5 hours. Very rarely do they last like 3 or 4 minutes. So one of the cool things that you can do here is with this indicator now is that once it goes into trend, right? You can just short at will. Now, there are better places to short than just like at will. You could wait for a retrace move like over here. These are, retrace sell points, sort of telling you, where you could short from here and start selling it over here. However, now this is where it gets really great because the indicator not only tells you where the thing is overbought, but it's also, where the trend starts, but it's telling you where there gets extreme overbuy conditions, right? Extreme overbuy conditions. And these are shown on the chart by these warning signs, right? By these big warning signs, right? So the warning signs, I want to explain the indicator to everybody really, really carefully. I don't want to talk about risk management or anything else until you understand the indicator, because my risk management is actually totally built in. I don't think about risk management at all. I have a whole my plan is, of risk management comes in before I make any trade, so I don't have to worry about it. And risk management should always be that way. But from an analytical point of view, here's the cool thing. These warning signs, these little warning triangles are telling you the price is really stretched away from the moving average, right? Really, really, really stretched away, right? And when you get this stretch away, like these big warning signs, right? So first you have trend signal. You can just go short. Once you get these big warning signs, right, you can then also trade counter. Like, and look, especially when there's multiple ones, you can actually trade counter trend once the trend turns green, right? So I would sell here because that's the beginning of a trend. I would be a lot more cautious about selling here because I've had these multiple warning signs telling you it's an incredibly oversold condition. So I have a danger of selling to the bottom, right? So I would not sell this signal. Then I go into the green zone. I go to reversal move. I buy over here. Then we're still staying in the red condition. And you see over here, there's no warning signs. It's not giving me any kind of a warning sign. So this sell becomes really, really cool, right? Now here's one warning sign. Do I want to sell here? Probably not. It's already getting very tired. Maybe I would hold off. But even if I did sell over here, I sold here, I could sell again over here and resolve the whole trade over here. Really, really nice and clean. Now, once I get up here, right, I don't see any warning signs. I'm still red. I could still sell over here, right? And here's where it gets even better. So I followed, the golden brick road to profits here, profits here, profits here. Then this thing now flips from red to black. That tells you that the selling phase of Bitcoin is over even before it crosses the moving average. So you could now start to condition yourself, like once it goes into the green zone, of maybe getting long, right? And now we're obviously in the buy zone, looking good. And if this thing starts to extend and go higher, into the 96 level, it's going to go into the green zone. This is let me see if I can show you some greens. Bitcoin has been in a big sell-off mood. So here's a green zone, right? So here's a green zone. So this was like actually at the beginning of the day last night. So here's it goes into the green zone. Once it goes into the green zone over here, you can just buy at will. 951. It goes at least a couple of 100 points your way. You scalp it out. We're always trading for about 100 points. You scalp it out for 100. But then as you get into the green zone, you start seeing it. It starts flashing you, warning signs telling you that's pretty overbought. So once it gets overbought, you're much more cautious about following the trend, and then you actually once it gets into the red zone, can actually short it. You can go the other way, short it in a counter trend, right? And then you're looking at here, and it looks like it totally left the green zone conditions, the super trend, what we call the super trend conditions, and you could just sort of short it into a reversal move. And so far, and pretty much it reverses down, and then it begins, begins a downtrend. Now, in this particular case, this is the one small example. And Bitcoin is definitely the most volatile of these examples, where the super trend, which is it enters into super trend over here, really doesn't give you much of a signal. Here, the super trend is giving you this is sort of almost a false signal. But even in this signal, I could have worked my way out of this trade because I would have been short, somewhere around 96,700, and then I would have sold the next tranche at around 950, and I would have sold the third tranche at around 97.1, and all I needed to do is for the thing to come back down to 97, not even much, just 97. I would have been able to resolve the whole trade, right? So that's sort of what I basically do all day long. But with this new additional tool, it just makes it so much cooler to be able to trade it, in a full-blown fashion. So with gold right now, I don't have super trend. I just have these tiny little pukey little trends over here that are not doing much, right? We bought it on this breakout here, and now I'm just going to be very, very patient with it. And I'm not going to be a buyer of this trade with my second tranche until it comes down to like maybe the 52s. Because at the support level of the 200, if this stabilizes, comes back out to 55s, we'll take our profit and let it go. Gold has been kind of sucky. I'll be honest with you, like and sucky not in the sense that it's just not been a real strong trend in London. It's been a pretty decent trend actually in New York. It's had like $10, $12 moves in New York, but London has just been very, very flat. Fortunately, if we're flat, but just mildly range bound, we can resolve most of our trades, even in those conditions. So these are like all the things that we do all day long. It just gives you so many more opportunities, to enter these positions. Like gold, obviously, gold was a big mover yesterday. I remember during the New York session, we actually traded it on the future side because of the ISM data, which came out and said that the prices paid component was really, really hot, and that knocked gold out for a loop for a little bit. But overall, gold to me still looks like it's a pretty serious bid here at the 2650 level. Certainly 2600. It doesn't look like we're getting a lot of liquidation in gold. It's just a pause that refreshes on a longer term chart. Happy to take a look at it with you guys on a longer term chart if you want. Let me see if we could do this. Let me go here. What is this? This is the 1 hour chart. And we can go to gold. Yeah, so this is the hourly chart. We can go even on a 4 hour chart. And you see that yes, we peaked out at the 27, big corrective move, but basically just been kind of range bound, making higher lows, lower highs, just sort of this point of tension. This is like classical, for those of you who follow classical analysis, this point of tension. Oops, where am I? See if we can do this. This point of tension generally gets resolved as a one way or the other. In other words, if the price drops this way, it tends to be a indication that we may have much more downside, maybe to 2,500. If it starts breaking out here, it's going to give you an indication that we could come back and retest the highs. I think it's reasonable. Overall, gold is just not very active right now because everybody's waiting to see what the Trump administration does as far as inflation goes and productivity goes and everything else. Trump was actually in Greenland yesterday, I heard. The story with Greenland looks like it might be serious. So we will, we'll see how it goes. While I have you guys, and while I was sort of, waiting for positions to develop, I'm just looking at Bitcoin here to see if Bitcoin is doing nothing. Bitcoin is just, it went into positive trend and just kind of very quiet. We don't have any real signals. Gold itself, we took that long signal and we're just waiting to see if it could rally itself to the 51 level. We did already resolve the long Bitcoin trade here. We bought here, we sold here on Bitcoin. But ideally, I would love to see some super trend develop, some of these green candles develop. But it seems like price action is very quiet today. I think generally this week, because U.S. markets are closed tomorrow, and then we have non-farm payrolls on Friday, it seems to be very, very tepid, cautious price action all the way through. So nobody's really doing anything. But I'm happy to to look at other charts if you guys want to post a symbol for me. I'm happy to do this with you guys. I'm actually, you know what? Let's do a little poll. I'm curious. This is a money management. Since somebody's asked about money management, let's ask a money management question. Do you use one entry, one stop? They'll give you three choices: multiple entries, one stop, and multiple entries, multiple stops. Oops. As your choices. I'm just curious how you guys trade. This would be interesting to see. Most people use one entry, one stop, and that's fine for like a for a swing-based trade. But if you're scalping like me, I think you'll find that most people who scalp use actually multiple entries, single stop conditions, because when you're trading on a short-term basis, you don't really have one single price. You have a probability and possibility of prices. And as long as you can get yourself wrapped into a general probability envelope, you'll have a reasonable chance of resolving the trade. So let me know. I'm actually curious how everybody's is trading. I'm surprised multiple entry, one stop. I was actually curious to see if anybody's trading multiple entries, multiple stops. That's a really advanced technique that some people like to do. So if you want to we can look at some other instruments as well. I don't see how the German is doing today. Oh, look at this. German is in super trend, guys. I don't really trade the German with you guys, but we really probably should. I've been working on getting the tools organized. But look at this is a good example of what I'm talking about. So German is in super trend. It's 30 basis. It's a third of a percent up on the trend. If you kind of got yourself long 364, you had 20, 30 points of nice movement here in the German, right? It's not really flashing any grossly overbought. We don't have any warning signs, so it's not like really stretching itself out across the short-term moving average. But it is petering itself out a little bit. It's been generally these super trend conditions last between a half an hour to 2 hours, and it's already been 3:30 to it's been an hour. It's been an hour that it's been in super trend mode. So I'm not that keen on trying to get into it now. I like to get into these things early, but it's just a good example of something that we could have traded really nicely on this condition. How is the US 30 doing? Yes, everything, all the US stuff is just boring as hell. It's just not doing anything. NASDAQ is actually looking mildly positive here. I wonder if I could trade NASDAQ here. Let me see if I could trade NASDAQ. I'm going to try to trade NASDAQ in my. Now, here's the cool thing about this dashboard, right? You could just go like this, and it will set the stops all across the. And I want to put the target at 20, and this will put this way, and I want to do this market. Let's say buy. I'm just fooling around with my dashboard here, and now I'm trying to figure out like what my programmer did as far as, because what I want to do is I want to go to limit. What's my entry on this? 53. I don't know. 89, 189. So 20. Let me see if this works. Oh, it's a sell limit. Huh. Oh, this is wrong. Okay, we can close this out. I want to do a buy limit. Huh. Gold is moving up nicely for us. I'm still waiting to see if we can hit that 55 level. Take profit is going to be 54.92, getting close. But just to show you, by the way, look how easy it is for me to close this out, or to just do this. I can go close all, and every single trade is just closed out with one single click. That's such a useful little tool on the ability to trade. If you guys are trading MetaTrader 5. Michelin says, "Hey, let's trade DAX in the future." I think we absolutely will. Now the whole idea is like, once I can get the dashboard also organized, because it's much easier if I have a dashboard, I don't have to go through 4 charts. I can just use one single instrument per chart, so it'd be easier to set up. But I think it looks like he screwed up the limit function. The limit function should be underneath here, not above here. So we'll fix this. But we're getting close. This thing is going to be really, really useful, because this. As great as this is, and anybody who trades single, I see a lot of you guys are trading one entry, one stop. This thing is just built for one entry, one stop structures. When you're trying to do like kind of multiple entries, this dashboard idea is going to be even better. So all of that, by the way, all of this, if you guys become ACAP, if you use ACAP, or if you already are an ACAP customer, I'm going to throw the dashboard. The dashboard is going to be part of the giveaways. So the FlashTrader and the FlashTrader dashboard, which is how we're going to eventually name this. I just kind of wanted to preview this with you. As you can see, everything is always raw whenever we start it. But once we finish it, these things are gold. You see how fast and easy it was for me to trade this. It's impossible to do this in a normal MetaTrader environment. So once you have this power, it's like a superpower in terms of being able to trade. Um, so what's the German doing? Just see, German is kind of like starting to die out a little bit, right? And the super trend is starting to compress a little bit to the downside. So um, interesting to note. But it would have been a really nice clean trade here. Actually, let's go through the German. I haven't looked at the German in a long time. We used to trade it a lot, and then I just didn't have time. But like, how did it trade yesterday? I'm just curious. Yeah, it was really, really flat. Look at this. German had a little bit of New York open trend sessions. Now, how is it trading in Germany? So yeah, so here, this is good. This is kind of interesting. You see, it opens up in Germany, giving you these really, really good signals. So wherever you took these, whether if you took this little signal over here, or this little signal over here, these first couple of signals within super trend are almost always positive, and they don't even have to be multiple entries. Most of the time, this could be a single entry, single exit structures, right? So yesterday could have been a really nice clean trade where we could have come in here at the 15s, taken nice 20 points out of it on a scalp basis. So this is interesting. And then it loses the super trend, and then it kind of rebuilds, and it comes back up. And you have the second wave of the super trend. You bought the 50s, and it goes back down to the 30s, but then comes back up to the 70s. Just generally, positive trend tone here at all these junctures. Now, the other thing is, I was going to say is, as with everything else, the first signal is always the strongest, right? So if you're sort of in this situation where you see super trend, then a tiny little bit of super trend, then a last bit of super trend, that's going to be a much more exhaustive move the third time you get it. Like everything else, it all becomes exhaustive. But even if you bought this, like even if you bought this yesterday, you came in late, you bought the 75s. My structure says you buy 75s, you buy 55s, which would be over here. And if you have to, you buy 35s, which you did not have to buy. You buy the 55s, and then it goes, all it has to do is go back up to 75s right over here, and the whole thing resolves for you with a big fat profit. It actually goes much, much higher as the North American session comes up, and gives you another North American open here at the 51s, which takes you to 75s, like a nice clean 20-point target over here. So yeah, you could have traded this really, really nicely most of the time. This whole idea of using the two moving averages, I was trying to figure out, why does it work so well? And my initial analysis was that because it's a fusion of these two, and it's kind of like it's showing you a slowing of the upward trend. The moving averages slow down the trend, and then the separation is kind of a slowdown of the slowdown. It therefore has a lot more persistence than just pure price movement over the thing. You see how it has persistence. At very worst, it usually has about a 10-minute persistence, which in scalping land is obviously a lifetime. And by the way, if those of you who are the next question you're going to ask me is, does this work on the longer term charts? It does. It's just that we have to figure out what the proper separation rate. Like this is 30% is a really good value on an intraday basis. We have to figure out what it is on a 1 hour basis or anything else. So once I can figure out those settings, we can then look at much longer term, super trend settings on the thing. Because if you go like on a 1 hour chart right now in the German, right, and you have a 1/3%, everything is going to be super trend. It's just this is optimized for intraday settings, right? If you like, just for argument's sake, well, we got a little bit of time here. So I don't know if we made it 100 basis points, how would this look? No, it's still going to be huge. Maybe 300 basis points. Oh no, sorry. So this is, I'm in the wrong place. So 300 basis points. Maybe this. It's still Yeah. So, oh yeah, that now it finally changes. See, so now I did it like basically if it goes 3% up. So look at this. This is the hourly trend in the DAX, right? And it goes from regular trend. Now this you have to ignore the warning signs because again, this is also all um, optimized for intraday price action. So I have to create 1 hour daily settings. But you could just on a super trend basis, you can really see like this goes into the green. There's a lot of persistence here on the green moves to the upside. Let me see if we have any reds. Not that much. That's a pretty strong setting, I guess, for the reds. Anyways, it's interesting. You know, it's an interesting idea of how this works. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Oops, let me. Bitcoin is on a 1 hour. Let's go to 1 minute basis, and I want to rechange my settings to 30. Bitcoin is just nothing is really moving much. Gold also, we took our profits in gold. Gold is basically stationary. It's just kind of a very quiet session. We took a little bit of we took about $100 out of gold. You know, maybe $100 out of Bitcoin, but not much going on. This has been a very quiet session, so not much to do. I don't trade anything but indices. People are asking me, do I trade penny stocks? No, I don't trade anything. I trade when you're scalping. The sort of I think the rule of intraday trading is that you want to focus on just one or two instruments. You know, and when it comes to futures, I literally trade just Nasdaq, S&P, and gold. And when it comes to CFDs, I just right now we're trading gold and Bitcoin, but I think it's absolutely viable now that we have this tool set, and once I have the dashboard to trade the German as well. So because the German really I think offers us the most active opportunities in the European session. It's the one that is that has the most activity around it, right? So what you see here, by the way, is that the German has kind of left its super trend condition. And the way I would trade this is if this thing, so now we have black candles. If we get into the red zone, if this starts to sell off, I would take this as a counter trend signal. And if you are like a swing trader, which I've shown this a lot to people, you can actually say, I'm going to use the high over here, the high of the day at 2,400 against this short. If this thing comes down for maybe like a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So if I come down, so if this sells in the 70s, that's a 30-point risk. I would definitely give myself 30, maybe even 40 points of possible reversal move. Because once it leaves super trend, a lot of times that's the highs of the day, and then you could come back and just use that as a structure. But if you just wanted to scalp, I would certainly give myself like 10, 20 points of possibility if this thing goes red. The key thing is you absolutely want to have the short-term price action confirm your direction. If you think this is the top, and we kind of, sorry guys, it's winter. Winter allergies. You absolutely do not want to be selling this on just the belief that the super trend is over. You want it to confirm on the short-term basis with the move into the red zone, a break of the eight period SMA. So really cool in terms of creating lots of interesting ideas for you. I hope you guys really like this. This this indicator I absolutely love. I think it's going to be just dynamite, and I'm going to try to I may create a version just simply for like day charts or like 1 hour charts and higher on a much larger time frame, as soon as I can try to figure out how the settings can be configured for that for that component. But overall I think it's really cool. What's the question here? I have a couple of questions. What's a lot size and take profit? The German will be traded exactly as Nasdaq. So lot size depending on whatever size of your account, but it would be a 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4 structure, just like Nasdaq, with a 20, 20, 60, 20, 40, 20, 20, 20 stop, because the German and the NASDAQ have almost the exact same signature moves. In fact, they're almost the same price. It's 21,000 on NASDAQ, and the German is 20,000. So, super easy to trade. The only issue with the German, although now during this time of the day it's actually pretty good, is it's a little bit wider spreads, right? It doesn't really matter for us because we have large stops, but I don't like to trade the German unless it's less than 2 wide, and it's 1.5 wide, which is good. ACAP is showing really good spreads on this, so you could enjoy it. You see what I mean about not rushing your trade here? We left a super trend, but we haven't. We may be rallying back up. So if it reestablishes a super trend, then all your ideas of changing to the short side should be gone. But the most important thing is the transition phase. What I love is when you get the transition phase from just regular trend to super trend, that phase tends to be persistent. And really what we're betting, every time we're making a trade, we're making a bet on persistence. We're betting on the fact that this is the beginning of something that will continue, right, when we're doing trend. So that's why it's a really, really cool indicator that way. And it really works well. Hope you guys like that. Anyways, I'm going to repeat my my spiel here. The QR code you see here, that's 8cap. Scan it. Open an account with these guys. Just $500 deposit. That's all you need to get my tools. You're going to get. I'm going to give you the BK Scalper off the Trading View, which is an invite-only tool, and obviously I will give you the FlashTrader tools, which are really, really useful if you're an MT5 trader. How many of you guys trade MT5? So, I'm looking at the poll here, and it's 1 entry, 1 stop, which is the classic trade. Is vast majority of people. So the way I trade with multiple entries, multiple stops, and those of you guys who see me in New York, that's a truly degenerate way of trading, and I totally understand why so many people are not used to trading this way. The really cool thing about the super trend and the way the scalper is designed is that it can apply to single entry, single exit, or multiple entry, multiple exit. It's a very, very flexible tool. So if you do not trade the way I do, does not mean you can't use this tool. You could actually use it really, really well. As I said to you, for example, so here we went a little bit negative, right? And German is putzing around, kind of went a little bit negative, but at least here you have a semblance that you could have gone short the 75s here, and seeing if this is a swing high or swing low, or you could just simply trade this on a scalp basis and just kind of do small entry and multiple entries and see if you could resolve the trade this way. It generally looks to me like the German is in a pause mode. I would certainly be worthwhile to take the short over here for a couple of hours and see if it works. Anyways, it's quiet markets. I will be trading with everybody 9:30 this morning in New York. If you guys want to come join me, then tomorrow we're all off because of the U.S. markets being closed, and then Friday we're going to be doing non-farm payrolls. It's going to be a lot of fast activity there. Can't wait to trade with you guys. Thanks for everybody coming in. By the way, Chris says WTI. It's another thing that we used to trade a long time ago that I have not traded. Let me see where oil is. It's a good idea. Let me look at oil. Let me add. Is this U.S. oil? Yeah, this is U.S. oil, I believe. Right? Yeah, U.S. oil. So let me put this over here. Oh, look at that. You're right. I mean, U.S. The thing about this is that I have to figure out what the stops and targets on this thing is. Like, what is a reasonable unit of? I think we used is it 20 cents? Is that we sort of used the 20 cents against 60 cents? So if you came in 35, you're a buyer. Yeah, no, maybe even 10 cents. $75. Well, $75. What's the average move here? $1.70. Yeah. It's a matter of just figuring out what the stops and targets on this thing would be. But I guess you could probably trade it with a 1030, right? So you bought this 33s, you would buy 23s if you needed to, you'd buy 13s. Yeah, it's really wow. I mean, I forgot how sleepy oil has become. It used when it was in the hundreds, it used to move like $1 an hour. Now it moves like 10 cents an hour. So this whole range is 75, 80. This is basically a 20-cent range. It's not a lot of, and you got a 3-cent spread on oil. So I don't think oil is a viable product for us at these narrow ranges. But it might be a viable product like on a longer term basis, like on an hourly basis, as long as I can figure out how to configure these levels, and then it could really work. I think I'm definitely gonna have to create a different indicator for the longer term charts, because this is all created for the short term charts. But it's interesting. It's interesting as a structure here. How's Bitcoin doing for us? Bitcoin is sliding back down, not really showing anything, and gold is also just touching base. This is a trade I like to do, where you buy the 200 period SMA. I got to run, so I won't be able to do this. But like this is a trade I would love to do, the 5280, and just see if I could pop it to 5400. Because once it comes into support, it generally is good for at least one bounce off the support on the trade here. So you can use the indicator for that. But overall, generally kind of very quiet. German seems to be not even. I was going to say it seems to be perking up, but it's also that short at 75 looks okay. Still a viable short. Be interesting. I'll come back with you guys next week. We can deconstruct what this trade would have been like. I think of all the instruments that we have as possible trade partners, the German should definitely be on our radar. So maybe we're going to add that next week. Once I get the dashboard all figured out and ironed out, we can because that'll be super easy. We'll be able to trade one single instrument per one chart in multiple entries. So we can manage everything off of a single chart using FlashTrader dashboard. It'll be super valuable. Kind of excited about that. Okay, guys. Any final questions? Anything else on your mind? Thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a relatively quiet week, but to the start of the year, not a surprise. Sometimes it does. It's we're still basically getting all of our technical tools and structures in place, but I think we're really in good shape. You just see how valuable these analytical tools are for setting up trade setups, which is really what it's all about. So we'll have the analytical tools with the trading view, and we have the execution tools with the MetaTrader 5. Should really set you up for success in 2025. So come join me. Everybody have a good time. How is, sorry, what's the question? How's the bot going? These are all execution robots. I don't know what you're asking me, Hawkeye, but happy, the one that trades for itself. Oh, the ODP. That's going to, we're going to pick that up too next week as a conversation. For those, that's a separate conversation. That's actually got some really interesting variations on it as well. That's working very well. Anyways, I will see everybody on Friday. No, I'll see everybody in the morning today for New York if you want to come join me. But I'll see everybody on Friday for non-farm payrolls if you guys want to trade that live with me. So be sure to be there. And let me not forget, while I have you guys, we're going to do the 10 trades to watch, totally free webinar that is coming up not this weekend, but the weekend after that. Be sure to register. Even if you are not going to be able to watch it, if you register, you will get the video replay. You get the full replay of the webinar. These are top 10 trades of the year for 2025. You're going to find them really interesting. So come join us for that. I'll leave the link over there for you. Okay, and bring all your friends. Just bring everybody around. It's totally free. Everybody can have a good time. And bring all your friends, to trade with us with FlashTrader. Again, totally free product for you guys. Just if you already have an account, it just makes it so much easier. Okay, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see everybody in the New York Open, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of volatility over there. In the meantime, one gold trade for the day today, which is better than nothing, and we made some money. I'll see you guys later. Take care.